Buenos dios, buenos dios, buenos dios. What it is, what it was, and what it shall be. What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, Dr. Will Rogers, a.k.a. Master Teacher 33. And today is Sunday, Helios Deity Day, Sunday, January the 9th, 2022. And the time is 1 p.m. Central Time. As always, brothers and sisters, got a powerful message. Let's jump right in. 3 lies that you've been told about finances. And the 3 pieces of information that we need to understand about actually manifestation is not about getting anything. Manifestation is about aligning with everything. So manifestation is the result of your ability to get on the same frequency of the desires that you would like to manifest, whether that be wealth, health, wisdom, or relationship. Manifestation is the result of alignment. So when we're talking about financial manifestation, we have all been told that we should save, that we should work hard, and we should get out of debt. Those are the 3 lies that you and I have been told. What's even more interesting to me is I remember when I was in high school, there was no classes on money management or financial management. Now think about that for a moment. The things that you've learned in school while you was in, especially in high school, in college, okay, a little bit different, but in high school, there are no classes on money management. And kind of like with Rich Dad, Poor Dad. When Rich Dad, Poor Dad, in his book, he talks about what, his rich dad taught him versus what his poor dad taught him. Just like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I've learned the same thing. And it's very interesting that, monetary and financially, things have really changed for me, especially this year, when I started doing these 3 things that I'm sharing with you today. Before I embarked upon these 3 things, I was doing okay, but I was trying to save money, I was working really hard, and I was trying to get out of debt. I did not understand, and understand the things that I'm sharing with you today. And this is I'm going to use the word vibrational reset. If you could understand the vibrational reset for money, you could reset your vibration so that way you vibrationally align with your God-given design. And out of everything that I talk about in all of these shows, it's really, really interesting. I was hanging out with my family yesterday, and, you guys, I posted a lot of pictures on Facebook. My son is going into the Navy, and he wanted to go, and he's like, Dad, the military did good for you. And even though I encouraged him, I was like, well, you don't really need to go, but he wanted to go to get that extra sense of, what I learned in the military. And that is what I call focus, discipline, and order. And the military has some benefits, but it also has some drawbacks because it does program you more to be, and then again, this is my opinion, to be more of a follower than a leader from thinking outside of the box, meaning I am worthy, so are you, of fill in the blank. So the military doesn't really give you a true sense of your true identity, all of your worth and your value. Now, I've been doing a lot of shows, especially recently, and really my recent TikTok video that went viral for me was I Am a God. Now, a God is a generator, operator, and a director. So visualization destroys, again, all of the other things that we call distractions. So you are the center of the universe from the perspective of the entire universe is a projection, not a perception. And we talked about that already. So number one, to really change your vibrational script, that just simply means now I'm projecting into the universe. I'm not perceiving. I'm not allowing the dominant culture's definitions into my spirit. So I'm sending out. So the dominant culture says save money. It says work hard, go to school, get a job, work hard, and it says get out of debt. I did those three things, nothing changed. So when I stopped, number one, saving. So I don't save. I live way above my means. Way above my means. So the cars that I have, the house that I live in, everything I do on paper, there's no way I can afford those things. But I now understand that saving money in the bank, having money in the bank is worthless, regardless of how much interest you make, because when you build and you understand credit, cash is not king, credit is king. From the perspective of what? From the perspective of taking your cash and put it into assets that generate cash, that's king. Meaning, if you have $5,000 in the bank, that is awesome. That's $5,000 in the bank. But if you could take that $5,000 and purchase or create, which is what I recommend, an asset. What is an asset? An asset is something that you create once, but it creates or generates income year after year after year. You create it once, but it generates residential income. For example, all the stuff that I do, whether it's books, whether it's these shows like today, whether it's setting up like one of my over 200 different audio programs that I've done over the years, like to build a business, the gamma brainwave manifestation that that we've done over the years, $1 million theocentric nutrition, the Master Teacher 33 Business School, Blood Type, God Type, 2020 Total Awareness, 2021 Fight for Freedom, and all of these Kingdom Millionaires Training Center, Life Management System, Life Management Center, the Dear Canadian Report, Labor of Love Report, each one of these are individual systems. These are individual cash-generating systems. That's different from putting money in the bank that's sitting there and that's earning you 1 or 2% interest. So number one, savings is not the way to go. Now, today, I know no person who's wealthy who saved their way to wealth. Zero. I don't know no millionaire who saved his way to becoming a millionaire. Zero. I know no millionaire. I know no one that's in business who teaches savings. Now, if you want to set aside a rainy day fund, if you're a millionaire, you don't need a rainy day fund. Because a millionaire is somebody who has what is called consciousness. So once it's in your brain, nobody can take it out. So a millionaire knows that he always knows how to be a god, generate. Take what he generates, operate. Take what he operates, directs. All millionaires do that. So once you develop that skill set, you can never lose it. And then somebody go in your brain and take it out. So how can you go in the brain and extract out of your brain? Now you develop Alzheimer's, something, blah, blah, blah. That's the only way that I know that you lose your memes or your memories that contain your system. Hopefully you got it written down somewhere on a piece of paper. Hopefully you got it on a computer system. Hopefully you have a course set up like I do, where if I was to get bumped in the head and develop total amnesia, I would go back and I would listen to all of my old programs, and I would go back and I would start following. The first thing I would do is I would take Module 1 of the Life Management System. And then I could relearn everything that I've forgotten. First thing I would do was take my Gamma Brain Wave Manifestation Accountability class. That was 21 days of how to activate and put the brain into a Gamma Brain Wave state. And once the brain is in a Gamma Brain Wave state, what happens is now you're no longer trying to get money. Now you are money. That means that your energy is vibrating so much and so powerful that you are sending out more energy than coming in. Now you are a son. Now you are a joint heir with Christ. Now you are a holy nation. Now you are a saint. Now the script has flipped from saving to generating. So number one, you got to stop trying to save your way to wealth. I remember savings, they teach that shit to poor people. Rich people don't save. I'm talking about, really, people who understand money. People who understand money, you would never save. But what are you saving for? What's the point of saving? When I can put my money inside an asset. Because if you save money, what you're telling me is you got a piece of paper. And that piece of paper, it can lose its value at any time. But if you take that paper and you go buy a tangible product, like a house, even a car. Car is not the best investment, but buying a car, putting $5,000 into a used car is better than leaving $5,000 in the bank. Because I can take that car and I can take it apart. I can sell it as whole, but I can just take the engine, I can take the transmission apart. I can take it and I can sell it, I can piece it out. And that car is physical, tangible, especially if it runs. Because then the government can't tell me how much it's worth. What somebody's willing to pay for it is how much it's worth. See, a dollar bill has nothing supporting it. The dollar bill is not backed anymore by a tangible object. The dollar is not backed by gold anymore. I don't know if you guys have read the recent report. All the money that has been printed into circulation right now, the government has printed more money in the last, I think it was 2 years than they printed since the United States has been in existence. Meaning, the government is just throwing a lot of money at a lot of stuff, which means that the money loses its value. Now, when it comes to saving, a lot of people believe saving is the best way to go. People don't understand that investing is way more valuable than saving. So rich people, we don't save, we invest our savings. So I don't want a bunch of money sitting in the bank account so I can say I am a millionaire. I want and have $1 million worth of assets. So if I sell my assets, I can get $1 million. Why? If I go to the bank and try to take out my assets, as I already found out, I just went to and I tried to write, or I tried to purchase something that was like $8,000, and the transaction was declined because my bank said it was an unusual transaction. But if I got cars sitting in the driveway, which I do, all of them are well over $8,000, not only individually, but definitely collectively. I can take that vehicle to your house. You could pay me $8,000 for it, and I would drop it off. I ain't got to call nobody. The bank will not allow you. If you got $1 million in the bank, you can't go to the bank and take out $1 million. So who is that $1 million really yours? No, it is not. So believe me, just try it. Go to the IRS, go to the bank, and try to take out, $1 million in cash. You can't do it. Now you can put $1 million, you can deposit $1 million, but you can't withdraw $1 million. You can't save. In other words, your savings, the moment when you put the money in the bank, the money that money is the bank's money now. So my job is to make sure that I have assets. Now an asset is something that generates money. A liability is something that loses money. Now we could go into assets and liabilities, but the point of the message is, when it comes to financial education, we're not taught how to. We're taught that we're supposed to save, work hard, and get out of debt. We're not taught that we're supposed to invest. Number one, that means that I'm supposed to take my money and put it into something that generates money. My money should make money. We're not taught that. We're not taught how do you take money, buy something with it, and whatever you buy, make more money. So if you're buying things that don't make money, then you want to change what you're buying. Now, I'm not saying that you can't reward yourself with nice things. I'm just saying that those nice things should increase in value over time instead of decrease in value. Now, everything that you buy is not going to increase in value, but you want to be cautious and aware, and you want to make that a part of your regimen, your practice, and your routine, which takes us to number 2, which is the biggest lie, and that is we were taught in school we're supposed to go to school, get an education, get a degree, and then get a job. I don't know no rich person who's done that. Now, I know that they exist. They are the exception to the rule. There are always exceptions to the rule. But all my rich buddies that I know, including myself, we did not go to school from the perspective of, like most of my hours after my BA level is from non-traditional colleges. So I went to school at a traditional school for 2 years, and then I took different classes and different topics from a traditional school for what comes out to 120 hours, which is another 2 years. And then my additional 120 hours, so I have enough college credits for 2 or 3 PhDs if I were to take them all and put them into one school and one university. But most of my college hours did not come from a traditional university. That's why there's only certain schools that would accept all, like University of Arizona, Webster University. There's certain universities that I looked at and they say, yeah, Mr. Roger, we put all your college hours together. If you want to get a PhD in philosophy, you want to get a PhD in, hermeneutics or religion or divinity. But what is the point? The point is working hard is not going to make you rich because there's only a certain amount of hours in a day. So working hard is not how you make money, not how you generate, not how you make real money. So what do? Instead of working hard, we want to work creatively. So using your artistic, imaginative creation, you want to artistically and imaginatively create. That's AI. So instead of using artificial intelligence, you want to use artistic imagination. Instead of using artificial intelligence, you want to use artistic imagination. Instead of using artificial intelligence, you want to use artistic imagination. Now, let me make sure you understand, because this one is tough, because artificial intelligence is so powerful. Because artificial intelligence using an algorithm to do the work for you, because we are in a technological age, but it limits your ability to use your artistic imagination. It's just like I used to have 20, 30 phone numbers memorized in my brain until I got a cell phone. Now all my phone numbers are in my cell phone. So the only phone number, I don't have a lot of phone numbers memorized. Whereas if you guys remember, before cell phone, back when there was, for some of you youngsters, you guys will remember, like, there used to be, freaking phone booths all over the place. Everybody had beepers. Your beep, 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 beep. Your beep would go off. You look at your beeper. You would go to a payphone. You call, hey, what's up, John? Then cell phones came out. Then when they first came out, cell phones, they looked like, they was huge. You watch some of the movies from back in the, late 80s, early 90s, cell phones were huge. Now look at cell phones. You can put it in your pocket. But what is the point? Well, before, remember, if you don't use it, you lose it. So when you stop using your creativity, the reason why I'm able to create, I could create a book a day. Like, think about that. I could create a book. I could turn this audio, I could talk for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, really, on this one topic. And like I tell you guys all the time, not only with my clients, but with myself, I take that audio and I send it to rev.com, and they send me back 30, 40, 50 pages. I add some pictures. I edit it for about 10 minutes. And then I turn it into a PDF document. Now, I just did this on TikTok. And I tell you guys, I made like $1,000. So I can make $1,000. I can do this every day. So I can make $1,000 a day. Just off TikTok. And you can do the same thing. There's nothing different between me and you. Nothing. If you don't know what topics to talk about, email me. I'll tell you what to talk about. I'll tell you the topics. First of all, you can just go to Google and type in, trending top trending. You just type in, like you went to Google and type in, like, what's trending. We'll put it that way. And you can put what's trending right now. You can type in what's trending on TikTok, or what's trending on, TV, or what's trending on the news. And you type in, you just type it in, and it tells you what's trending. And you can talk about those topics. That will get you a lot of views. But we're not interested in views. Well, I'm not. I'm interested in what? Sales. So I talk about what I know that solves problems for other people. So that's trending for me. Like the video that I recently did, I'll tell you guys, and I made $1,000 in one day by making a video saying I am God. Number one, a lot of people gonna get pissed off. Christians are gonna get pissed off when you say you're God. So they're gonna listen to the tape just to post a negative comment. But the New Agers and other people who understand what I mean when I say I am God, which is saying that I'm an individual expression of God, which means from a Christianity point of view, I have this treasure hidden inside of me. But the Bible says that we have this treasure hidden inside of us. This treasure is Christ Jesus. Now you can say that means, what does that mean? Well, the Bible says that we should receive the Holy Spirit. That's what that means. So the Holy Spirit is a disposition that does what? Allows you to generate something. So we can slice it and dice it. We can say it a lot of different ways. But at the end of the day, what am I saying? Is that working hard? For me, it's not. So I'm at home in my drawers right now, like I do every show. I don't get dressed unless I got to go somewhere. Everything I do, I sit at home on a computer. Now, some people, they like to work with their hands. No problem. Take a camera with you. Take a tripod. If you build in a house you like building outside, take the camera up. How to lay a foundation, 3 easy steps. If you're a gardener, how to grow plum trees, how to plant plum trees, how to till the soil, how to create, what do they call it, where you put fertilizer. Yeah, how do you make fertilizer? Oh, you don't like getting your hands dirty? No problem. You like makeup? Okay. How to apply your makeup? You don't like putting it on? Okay. How do you take your makeup off? How do you dye your hair? How do you dye your hair? How do you keep your nails looking healthy and strong? What about pedicure? How do you clip your own toenails? We all, that old skin that kind of piles up on your heels. So how do you keep your feet nice and soft like a baby's bottom? Like for men and ladies, we don't know how to do that. My wife comments on my feet. I have to take a shower, and I get everything. I don't really put no lotion or moisture on my feet. It's just like, I can cut my nails, and they get moisture whenever they get it. So if that was a way by which, other than like a lot of times I do I soak my feet in apple cider vinegar, and then I'll soak my feet in coconut oil, and then my feet, man, they look brand new. But I don't do it every day. But when I'm sitting there at a computer for an hour, I'll just soak my feet in some apple cider vinegar oil. So what am I saying? Well, you can put that in the video. Okay? I work out. Like, I'm allowing myself to, I'm carrying a little bit more weight than I usually do. So I'm probably going to do, when I do my next detox, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to record it and film it. Remember, I just did a show about that. And we was talking about, but this time I want to do no impact. Why? Because as an older guy, and then I'm seeing that there's also an older audience, so that's what? That's another market. So I've already done videos and stuff for working out, lifting heavy, frequently just getting on a treadmill, putting a treadmill on an incline of 10 and putting it on 10 and going full speed uphill. I've done all of that stuff. But if you're 65, 75, 85, your knees and ankles, they ain't going to take that. So what am I doing? Well, I'm doing some videos on no impact training. Why? The market. So is that working hard? No. That's working creatively. So you've been lied to. I know when people ask me, if I was to ask you, what is the key to what is your financial education? What would you talk about money in high school? Me? Nothing. They didn't even teach me how to fill out or write a check. They didn't teach me how to balance a checkbook. They didn't teach me how to budget. They didn't teach me how to save. And they didn't teach me nothing in high school. Everything I learned about money, I learned after high school. So there are some adults who think saving, working hard, getting out of debt, that's how you become wealthy. I'm here to tell you that is not how you become wealthy. In fact, that's how you stay in poverty. So the dominant rich people, they don't want you to know. So I had to find a few rich people that was willing to tell me the truth, not King James version. So when rich people told me how to make money, I was like, no, that's not how you do it. Because that's not what I was taught. None of them went to school. None of them none of them saved their money. None of them work hard. And most of them they got so much debt, it's crazy. So I was like, well, how do you make money? So they told me, and I tried different things, a couple of things, and some of it worked, some of it didn't. That's why I had to develop my own system. So what I'm sharing with you today is that the entire universe is a projection of your consciousness. You were taught that the entire universe is your perception. So your perception creates your projection. But your projection, what you put out, that's what you get back. Now, if you think about that, that's so dangerous, because what I'm telling you is that you were taught to save, you were taught to work hard, you were taught to get out of debt. You were taught to live within your means, to not overspend your money. Everybody is talking about financial balance. I did not start making money until I violated all three of these laws. So number one, stop saving your money. Take your money, invest it into an asset. Buy stuff that makes money. Because if you go out there, if you just buy gold, when the shit hits the fan, if it never does, you got gold. And guess what? Somebody's going to pay you money for it. If you take your money and you go out and you buy a bunch of guns, if something pops off, guess what? You're going to have a bunch of guns. Nobody's going to have something. What they're going to do, they're going to come to you and say, hey, man, I got some chickens. I will give you in exchange for that gun. So I'm saying why? Guns are an asset. Some people say not. Same thing like automobiles. But what if they stop making them? They're like ammunition. What if they stop making it? Anything can be an asset. You can buy light bulbs. Then there's a run. Remember back just a year ago, there was a run on toilet paper. In Texas, you could not find toilet paper. That's when, remember the COVID shit first came out? Everybody was panicking. The end of the world is coming. The end of the world. And for whatever reasons, I really couldn't understand it. There was no toilet paper. Well, my wife does all the coupon and stuff, and we had a garage full of toilet paper and laundry detergent because she was buying that crap over coupons. So that became an asset because nobody else had it. And, she was just giving it away, but if we wanted to charge family members for it and other people, we could have. So stop saving your money. You're not going to get rich like that. The way you take your money, whatever excess money you got, and you buy an asset with it. You invest into something, or you do what I do. I take my money, and I put my money into building online systems, creating books and creating systems like the one I just did. Do a show, I Am a God, like I just did. Post it on TikTok, just like I just did. For $4.95, like I did. You work up the next day, just like I did. You'll have 100 orders, just like I did, of $4.95, just like I did. I just did it. I didn't read about it. I just did it. How did I do it? Well, I did number two. I didn't work hard. What did I do? I used my freaking brain. I used my brain. And what did I do with my brain? I had a thought. But it wasn't like a thought like we think. See, when I said, your job is not to think. Thinking is worrying. Thinking is thinking. So I don't think. Because thinking means future or past. I'm knowing. What is knowing? Knowing is right now I'm in the present. And living in the present, I like talking about my purpose. And I just took what I like talking about and shared it with other people on different venues. In this case, it was TikTok. And after I talked for the 30 seconds or 1 minute on TikTok, I shared a link that said, if you want more information on how to generate, operate, and direct. So remember on TikTok, you got to do number one, you make a bold statement that is shocking. You got to get my attention. How did I do that? I am a God. You know what people say? This nigga lost his mind. And so what they do, let me hear what this fool is saying. So they watch the video. Most people are drawn to that statement because it pisses them off. I like it. Because then the next thing I say is, I'm going to prove to you you're God. And then I state the proof. Number one, make a statement. Number two, prove the statement. Number three, offer additional resources that support the statement. So when I say prove the statement, I mean you state you are a God. How do I say? Well, gods generate, operate, and direct. People say, well, what does generate mean? Click the link to learn more. People say, well, shit, what does operate mean? Click the link to learn more. What does direct mean? Click the link to learn more. So, number one, make a statement. Number two, give proof of the statement. Not in the video for free. Give a link so I can go, because I can't give you the proof in 30 seconds. I cannot give you the proof. I got too much evidence, bro. I got too much evidence. This shit is creative. Is that working hard? Not for me. That's not working hard. I've worked hard. I've worked on the top of a roof as a roofer in Texas in August when it was 100+ degrees, and that smell of that hot tar and that sun beating on my back, and me with that hammer trying to nail them shingles into the roof in Texas in August. That's hard work, bro. The shit I do is not hard. This shit is easy. A monkey could do what I do. So that means you can do it. So there's no reason that you can tell me nothing that you can say. But I came from Podunk, Texas. I used to be homeless. Now I live in $1 million house, drive $100,000 cars, and living my life, my best life, during an economic upheaval and COVID-19. This is the best year of my life financially. When everybody else is telling me how bad it is. The shit can't be bad unless you bad. So the only reason that your reality is bad is because your mentality is bad. So remember, consciousness cannot be imported. Consciousness must be exported. If you are not exporting your consciousness, you are what we call poor, because you are vibrationally dense. That means that you are F-withable. Me, I'm un-F-withable. I'm un-mess-withable. Why? Because my projection trumps your perception. That's rich. See, right now, your projection is being pumped by Joe Biden's perception. Right now, your boy Fauci is sending you a frequency that is more powerful than your identity. The moment that their frequency is more powerful than your identity, you are effed. You in deep kimchi. Because you are not a god. Meaning you are not sending out, you're not generating enough frequencies, waves and verbs and vibes to establish and draw your tribe. See, you got a tribe out there. They're waiting for you to send out a vibe. You got to call your tribe with your vibe. And your vibe comes from your verbs. You don't have the right verbs. You have not you personally, but so you haven't activated your nerves. On the level where there is no devil. Meaning, I can work hard. I can go out right now and I can start a fencing company. One thing I learned about the dirt in Texas, I was talking with my older daughter yesterday. Just bought a brand new house. Her husband was out putting the fence, and they was like, we're not going to do this. So they did what I told them not to do. Because I already know, because when I was out in my backyard tilling the soil for my wife's garden, and I tink, 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 I kept hitting these big-ass rocks. For whatever reason, the soil has a lot of rocks in it. So if you're here in Texas and you're trying to dig into the soil, that shit is hard work. So what they do? That's what I told. They hired people with equipment. They came in here with jackhammers and stuff, and they grind those big ass rocks to freaking dust. And guess what? You can move dust a lot easier than you can move rocks. But guess what that does? You know, that took a lot of time, a lot of hard work. That's why I don't do it. I don't work hard. Now, I'm not saying that nobody else does. I'm saying I don't. You got an option today. You can continue to, number one, save your money. You could continue to, number two, work hard. And you can continue to do, number three, try to pay off all of your credit cards and get out of debt. You can do that. You will never be rich, but you can do that. Or you can do what I do. You can do what I did and what I continue to do. I take my money, I take my savings, and I invest in the assets. Number two, I don't work hard. I work creatively. So I use my artistic imagination instead of an artificial intelligence. I'm not saying artificial intelligence does not work. But when I went to use artificial intelligence to generate, like I tell you, my buddy in San Diego, that generates, so to generate $1 million, he spends $300,000 on a AI, an algorithm. So when I tried it, I spent like $5,000 on Facebook algorithms, YouTube ads, Instagram ads, TikTok ads. And it generated a lot of, what do you call it? Not even subscribers, but people who watch the videos. Let's just say likes. So I got a lot of likes, but I didn't get no money. Because you got to take the likes then, and you got to put them on your email list. You got to advertise to them, send them all the information. So you got to have an email funnel or sales letter. Then you send out the email funnel letter, and out of that 10,000, you may get 100. And then out of the 100, you may get 10, and out of the 10, you may get one sale. To me, that's working too hard. Remember, I don't work hard. Because that's number two. To get rich, it got to be fun. So hard work is not fun, at least for me. I like sitting at home, checking my PayPal account, in my drawers, chilling. That's how I make my money. So that's not hard for me. So I use my artistic imagination, do shows like this. And then I use number three, I live in debt. I use debt. So I use my debt to monetize myself. Meaning, everybody told me to get out of debt. I still do saying, no, get out of debt, get out of your debt, get out of debt. Not me. I'm maxing out my debt. I will max out credit card A to pay off credit card B. If credit card A is, let's say, $200, and credit card B is $300. So I take credit card A, I got $200 to buy an asset or create an asset. I use debt to create using my artistic imagination so that way I can invest in what I call a ATM or a money machine. So all I do is create little money machines. And these money machines are what you call a website. Now remember, I got like over 5,000. I got about 20 websites. But on those, between those 20 different websites, each website have anywhere from 200 to 1,000 different products, services, or information that you could purchase. Now I don't have time to go through all 5,000 of the different products, services, and information like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, and I talked about the series that I did I can go back 10, 15 years, and we could talk about the basics of Sacred Name movement, where I broke down the name of Jesus and all of that stuff. I can talk about the Kingdom Millionaires Training Center. I can talk about the Eagerly Advancing Godly Living and Economic, Scripturally, and Scientifically Eagles Club. I can talk about the Eagles Publishing. These are all 30 hours, 60-hour audio shows, especially the Kingdom Millionaires Training Center. Remember I did the Kingdom Millionaires Training Center 65-day product development program. When we went through 65 days, we spent going through basically the Dear Canary report. And I was telling you guys how to create a product from your Dear Canary report. That was called the 65-day product development program. We did that like 2 or 3 years ago. Then I did the life management system. You guys know, and most people are part of the 7 modules of the life management system. That's 365 audios, 50 books, everything that's inside of that. Then I have the Master Teacher 33 Business School, Master Teacher 33 Manifestation School, Life Management, Labor of Love, Dear Canary Report, Deal-Centered Nutrition, 2020 Total Awareness. The new one that's just rolling out, 2021 Fight for Freedom. And I can keep going on and on and on, talking about all of the different programs that we've done over the years, and I just record them, and then I take them out, and that's what I do. I turn them into what I call profit-generating centers, ATM machines, money machines. If you start today, right now, you start with the first one. After you do that one, you finish it, okay, you go to the next one. You go to the next one. And then every time you get a wild hair up your butt, just out of the blue, I just start posting. I just pull one of them out of the air and post it on Facebook. Somebody who's never seen it. Like I've seen it. I've done it 20 years ago. But there's somebody out there who's never seen my Theocentric Nutritional website. There's somebody who knows, I can go to TikTok and post it. And then people are like, what does Theo mean, brother? There's people out there that don't even know that Theo means God. Centric means centered. So most people have never read the book of Deuteronomy or the book of Leviticus. They know nothing about the dietary laws in the Helios Biblius. Now, to me, that shit is old. I knew that when I was 13. I'm a whole lot older than 13. But there's somebody right now that's 13. They never heard of it. So there's a whole new generation that's never heard of none of the shit that I've been teaching for the last 20 or 30 years. I got a whole new market on TikTok now. All these young kids on TikTok and Snapchat. I'm on Tumblr. People asking me, I'm getting questions, stuff like, I just recently opened up Tumblr. I never heard of it. Tumblr has been around for a long time. It's like Twitter. I'm on Twitter. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on all that stuff. So I'm getting products. I'm getting that. But what does that mean, though? So I'm able to take what everybody else is saving and I invest it into systems that generate stuff that's so easy. That means I don't work hard. And then I use my, what people call debt. Because if you borrow money, you don't pay taxes on borrowed money. Now, I'm going to say this again real slow. You don't have to pay taxes on borrowed money. Now, I don't know if you hear me, so I got to say it again. You do not pay taxes on borrowed money. But you're not hearing me, though. You're listening, but you're not hearing me. Because if you hear what I'm saying, you should go borrow some money today. Why? You don't pay taxes when you take out a loan. So if I take out let's say, personal loan, if I take out a business loan, if I do what they call peer-to-peer lending, if I lend you money and you lend me money. But it does become taxable, or the income that you generate becomes taxable. So if you don't generate no income, you don't pay no taxes. That's why the dominant cultures pay no taxes. So Donald Trump doesn't pay no taxes because Donald Trump doesn't personally generate money. The money he borrows, his money makes money. So once you understand that you only pay taxes if your money makes money, and if you put in a trust, well, you don't pay no money on the trust fund, not even on the money you make. So if you buy a boat, and if Sister Addie had a trust fund, and it was called, Addie Trust Fund 101, and Sister Addie goes out and buy her a boat, and she buys that boat with the money that she borrowed from a loan she had. That means she's paying. She didn't buy the boat with cash. She borrowed the money to buy the boat. But she used that boat to take people on tours around, the lake, whatever. So the money that the people pay her when she takes them on the tours, that is profit. meaning she pays the money for the boat, tax deductible. The money for the gas, tax deductible. The money, the food while she's on the people that's on the boat that takes the tour, tax deductible. So everything that she do with the boat is tax deductible. So if she spends more money operating the boat and taking the tour than she makes, she pay no taxes. In fact, she gets the carry back. Now that's a whole study for the time. But I'm purchasing $1 million house. One of the things I'm going to do with my $1 million house is I'm going to have seminars inside of the house. In fact, I'm going to invite some of you guys to my $1 million house. We're going to sit out there inside my pool, and we're going to do a seminar. And I'm going to teach you guys how I bought my $1 million house, and we're going to go ride in my $100,000 Corvette, and I'm going to tell you guys how I purchased my $100,000 Corvette. So the gas, the interest, the payment on my $1 million house in my Corvette, just like I do, just like yesterday, all the time, the money, the car rental, the Airbnb, the food, everything I did yesterday, that was all tax deductible. Now, to the average person, what I just said doesn't make sense. But I bought all the money I spent yesterday was all borrowed money. None of that was my own personal money. So I really don't have to create money from sales. I create money from money. That's why I don't have to advertise. Now, if you could understand the last piece of the puzzle of being rich, once you learn how to create a money machine is when you take the money that you make from your job and you buy something or you create something with your brain. You must be an artistic, imaginative creator. You take what you create to generate. You take what you create to generate. So once you generate something that generates money, the IRS they want some money. You have to pay taxes on it. Unless the cost of goods is more than the product is generating. Meaning, how much money does it cost you? Well, for me, it doesn't cost me no money other than my time. Oh, how much is my time? Well, I pay myself very well. So as I take out my salaries and my expenses, ain't nothing left over. Or very little is left over. So I pay no or very little taxes. Now, this is all inside of what I'm out of the programs. How to pay low or no taxes. That's all available, at what? The IRS website. So the IRS website tells you how to do all of this information. You can go to the IRS website and type in, hardship distribution, or you can go and type in loans, and they're going to ask you for specific types of loans, whether it be like a private loan, a investor loan, whether it's for, purchasing products, services. So there's all different types of loans. So maybe you're taking out a loan for like student loans. So all of these different types of loans are not taxable. So what is that loan though? Well, that's a debt. Well, hold up. The dominant culture says you to get out of debt. No, you want to get into debt. Why? When you get into debt, that's a tax write-off. It's not income because you got to pay it back. So IRS figure, well, this dude got to pay this loan back, so he's not making no money. But what if you use the debt to make money? Bam. So when you use your debt to make money, you're writing off the debt, but the debt is generating you money. That's how the rich people do it. All rich people don't have to pay the IRS no money because the rich people are technically not generating income because their businesses on paper are losing money. Some of the businesses are losing money in real life. That's why rich people are not really worried about how much money they make. Rich people are only concerned about how much debt they can create. Totally different than poor people. Poor people, they pay off their debt. Rich people, they create their debt. The debt, guess what? You write off the debt. The debt, your debt is a liability because you have to pay it back according to the IRS. But if I take out a $10,000 loan, and I take that $10,000 loan and I create a $20,000 asset, that's what rich people do. But poor people would take a $10,000 loan and then they would create another $10,000 loan, meaning that they would buy something like shiny rims that is a liability instead of buying something that is an asset. So when you do get in debt, you want to create an asset. That's what rich people do. Rich people get in debt for the specific purpose of creating an asset. Once you understand that game, you're rich. Because now you can always find, even though like I remember, and I tell you guys when I was doing those what they call hard money loans, I was taking out loans that had like 300% interest. That means whatever I borrowed, I paid back 3 times the amount. So if I borrowed a loan, if I got a loan for $1,000, I would have to pay back $3,000. Now everybody would say that is the craziest thing in the world to do, unless you understand what to do with it. So once you understand that I can take $1,000 and I can turn that $1,000 into $10,000. Now your job is to understand how to do that. So that's what all rich people do. So all rich people can take $1,000 and they can turn it into $10,000. So they don't care that they got to pay back $3,000 because they already know that's tax deductible. So the amount of money that you borrow and pay back, you can write off on your asset that you just created. Now, it may sound complicated. It's real easy. It's like anything in life. Once you do it a couple of times, then you're going to see, like, because in the beginning, when I did my first TikTok video, I was like, what the? It was just like when I did my first YouTube video. It's like when I did my first Twitter. It's like when I did my first Snapchat. So it's just going to be like when I do my first NFT. Now, I already know how to do it. Like when I did my first YouTube ad. When I did my first Facebook ad, that shit was daunting. Now that I've done it, it's just easy. But at first, when I first did it, because remember, they make it appear hard because they put it in a lot of different steps. Because they know the average person, especially the average black person, we're going to be like, it's like coding. Writing a computer code from scratch. It's hard until you do it. Everything's hard until you do it. And once you do it, you realize that, oh, they put all of these steps because they know the average person, after 3 steps, they quit. That's why if you do something online and you're selling something, it got to be 1 step. If I, like my TikTok video, they watch the 30 to 60-second video, and then it says link in bio. They got 1 step. Click the link in the bio. The link in the bio, if you got a book and you send a book, you got to have 1 step. You got to tell me, you got to get my attention. You got to tell me the benefits, and you got to give me the link that explains more about the benefits. I don't give a damn about the features. Otherwise, I don't care how shiny it is. I want to know how it's going to help me solve me. If I got an overweight problem, you got to tell me how to lose weight. If I got a money problem, you got to tell me how to make more money. If I got a relationship problem, you got to tell me how to keep my woman or my man. If I got a wisdom problem, you got to tell me how to become more knowledgeable. If I got a religious problem, you got to. So in other words, you're talking about features. Nobody cares about how long you've been, about your history. That's all good. But the young generation, they don't care. You got 3 seconds to tell me the benefit. You got 3 seconds to, number one, get my attention. For example, how to lose 30 pounds in 30 days. Because everybody else says tell you take a year to lose 30 pounds. So you gotta make a statement that gets my attention. So you're telling me something I've already heard, I'm swipe. I'm going to the next video. You tell me Jesus is Lord, swipe. Joe Biden thinks you, swipe. Joe Fauci said swipe. If you tell me, there's an android coming to hit the earth, swipe. All that shit I've already heard. But you tell me Android's coming in the next 3 days. Oh, shit. I'm going to keep listening. I got 3 days for the Android hit. Whether that's true or not doesn't matter. You're about to get my attention. You ever watch the news? Oh, the news, they will say, the sprint sports, they will say, Antonio, like this recently happened with Antonio Brown. But the sports ad will talk, they will have the highlight that says, Antonio Brown strips in public. See news at 10. Did Antonio Brown really strip? Yeah, he did take his shirt off and run around with no shirt on. Did he take his drawers off and, expose himself? No. So they put out these clickbait, this titillizing title. Why? I got to get your attention. You got to do the same thing. You are up against people who are putting out false statements, but they got 2% truth. Now, I'm not telling you to be, like Esquire magazine, just flat out lies. But what I am telling you to do, because we're no longer saving, working hard, and trying to pay off our debt. If you're still doing that shit, it's going to be rough for you in 2022. You better get you another side gig. You better get you a side hustle. You're gonna be in the poorhouse. In 2022, if you're still trying to save your way, if you're still trying to work your way, if you're still trying to get out in 2022, and you're still trying to save, work hard, and get out of debt, boo-boo, you in trouble. It's going to suck for you in 2022. You are F-wittable. In order for you to be un-F-wittable, in order for you to be un-mess-wittable, nobody can mess with you. You on a level where there is no devil. Number one, you spending all your money and more. I've always lived above my means. Since I was 13, I've always drove a car that I should not be driving. I've always lived in a house I should not be driving. I was always with a girl that I should not be with. Everything I did was grandiose. I just think that way. I never thought, safe. Everybody who knows me like, damn, dude, that's kind of risky. That's kind of risky. What if? I don't give a damn about the what if. Now, I don't recommend you do that unless you're designed by God to do that. I'm designed by Big G to deal like that. So that doesn't create no stress in my life. Because remember, stress is a result of you functioning with less. So stress is a result of you functioning less, meaning stress is the result of you settling for less. So that makes up a mess, because that mess is the result of you settling for less. You know you deserve more. You deserve better. And instead of you being better, you bitter. You bitter because you know you deserve better. But you ain't doing better because you settled for less. So now you've created this big mess. And now you've got a bunch of stress. So we got to get rid of the stress, because the stress causes a mess. And the mess is the result of you settling for less. So how do we do all of that? Number one, live above your means. Cause what happens when you live above your means? When you live above your means, you elevate and you match that. That's the way the brain works. When you stretch, when you overstride, now remember, you don't want to overdo it, because you could also, that's when you pull a muscle, like in sports. So you got to bite off just a little bit more than you can chew. Stop saving, stop working, and stop trying to pay off your debt. Start investing. Don't save, invest. Start artistically creating. Stop working. Start artistically creating. And stop trying to get out of debt. In fact, create debt. Go out, take out a $10,000 loan, get a $10,000 credit card. Find out max. Give yourself 30 days. What do you make on your job? If you're making $2,000 a month at your job, find a credit card for $2,000. Quit your job. You got 30 days to get your shit together, or you're gonna be homeless. What do you think you're gonna do? You're gonna get your shit together. For some of you guys, you're gonna become homeless. Then after you become homeless, then you're going to get your shit together. Either way, you still going to get your shit together. Guess what? Then you'll never be broke again. That's what I did. So when I was homeless, I had an epiphany, sitting in my car in the parking lot of Walmart. So I would drive around from different 24-hour Walmarts and sleep in the parking lot. Then I would mix it up a little bit. I'd go to the 24-hour fitness because I had a membership. Like I told you guys before, sleeping in the car, and all of that time, that's what going to jail is the best thing that can happen to some people. Remember Malcolm X went to jail, and guess what he did? All that time, he went from being whatever his name, he became Malcolm X. Why? He had a lot of time to examine, like, oh, damn, what am I doing? Remember, went to Mecca, came back, and he realized that he was just getting ready to get rid of the Islam shit and come out with the truth, and guess what happened? He transfigured. Why? They don't mind if he figured it out, just don't share it with nobody else. Same thing goes on with you, brothers and sisters. Everybody on this call, you're a guru. You're a God. Remember, brothers and sisters, the universe, actually, you are the center of the universe because you are the center of your projection because you are the one that's projecting out what you have taken in. So now, I recommend that you stop projecting out what you took in. Now, I recommend that you start projecting out what's already in, meaning when you was born, God put himself inside of you. So whatever God put, inside of you, which we already told you because it's inside your DNA report, okay, send that to the universe. Think about it. What if you send you out? Well, you're going to get back what you send out. So you don't believe like me, you're going to struggle with it because there's going to be some internal conflict. That's when you're going to need Sister Addie's book. So Sister Addie wrote a book on how to deal with that internal conflict. Why? Why would Sister Addie write a book about how to deal with your internal conflict called Quiet Storm? Well, Sister Addie got a little experience in it. Guess what? Sister Addie went through the same shit. She had to figure it out for herself before she could help be an asset for someone else. So now she knows how to quiet the storm. All them raging thoughts in your head? Well, because as soon as you start to implement what I'm saying today, your brain will be like, hold up, you've been saving money all your life. You've listened to this short Negro from Texas, and now all of a sudden, you want to stop saving? You want to stop working hard? You've been working 2 jobs all your life. Remember, y'all, I worked 3 jobs for 20 years. 3 jobs! I'm not talking about shit I read off in no book, man. I already did this. That's why I know it doesn't work. I was saving money. I was working hard, 3 jobs. I was paying off all my debts and getting out of credit. I remember I talked about my credit card because I remember watching this guy that what's his name? That Dave Ramsey dude. He's like, get out of there, get out of there. I'm like, okay, Dave, okay. And I could have bought my credit card like Dave said. And then I was like, damn, why did I do that? I needed them credit cards. But I was just using my credit cards to pay my bills. I wasn't using my credit cards to build my assets. I didn't know that you're supposed to have credit cards. Shit, if you got a $10,000 credit card, you rich. Why? You got $10,000 that you can create. You know what kind of website, what kind of products, what kind of service you can create with $10,000? Shit, you can create 200 products like I just did. Do you need $10,000 to create 200 products? Hell no. Because I did it without 10 grand. But now I got 10 grand. So now I'm taking those 10 and I'm creating another 200. And I'm also amplifying those original 10. You can do the same thing. That's the whole point of all the classes that we're doing. All the classes, especially the Gamma Wave Manifestation and the Build a Business and, the Build a Business Kit, where I build a business for you or with you to assist you. What we're doing right now with the 2022 People Development Center, I'm teaching you how to do all the stuff that I'm talking about today. Number 1, stop saving your money and invest your money, turn your money into a money machine. Number 2, stop working hard. Use your artistic imagination, not artificial intelligence, to create. Number 3, get in debt. Because when you are in debt, debt means somebody gives you a loan. Debt does not mean not paying back the loan. Debt means you give me $10,000 in the form of a credit card, and I pay you every month. Whether you pay them just the minimum balance or you do what I do, I pay my credit cards off every month. Why? Because I'm generating so much money every month. And what do? They increase my limit. Like I told you, when I started with the PayPal thing, it was only $500. Now it's up to $100,000. But it started at $500. But why did they increase it to $100,000? Because I pay it back. Excuse me. How do I pay it back? I take it and I multiply it. That is the law of exponentiality that's taught inside of the Bible. Because Jesus took the talent that he gave the one man that buried it, and he gave the talent to the man that multiplied his talent. Brothers and sisters, learn how to be a multiplier. And that's what I teach inside the Life Management System, which is now the People Development System. Brothers, I love you. I appreciate you. We'll see you guys later on tonight. God bless.